It's over for you, Roy. On May 13th, your career will end forever. I am ready to shock the entire boxing world. The 1990s were a time when Roy Jones Jr. transformed from a merely talented boxer into a true legend and icon of world boxing. He began the decade by winning his first championship belt in 1993. By the end of the decade, Roy had become the undisputed world champion in the light heavyweight division, holding the WBC, WBA, and IBF belts. For this phenomenal period, the American Association of Boxing Writers named him Fighter of the Decade. It was as the planet's main superstar that Roy Jones Jr. stepped into the ring on May 13, 2000, in Indianapolis. That evening, he faced the defense of all three titles against the dangerous Jamaican puncher Richard Hall. No one doubted the champion's victory, but everyone was curious whether the latest challenger could offer him any competition.
Broken a bone in his wrist, 90% healed as he comes into this bout.
You don't want to do anything but just stick your hands out.
Legs wobbling under Richard Hall as Jones sizes him up. Minute and a half left to go. Straight right hand lands. Jones was on his back foot for that one. Now he puts power behind the right hand and down goes Hall. Second knockdown of Hall's career. Jones finally finds a neutral corner.
Hall had better hold on. The one thing about Roy Jones, he has not been a good finisher in a long time.
The first round began with Roy's usual feeling-out process. He moved lightly, kept his distance, and threw his jab, not allowing Hall to get close. The Jamaican tried to pressure him and trap the champion against the ropes, but Jones slipped away from the attacks and landed a couple of accurate straight rights. Nothing dangerous, more of a warm-up.
And let you recover. You got to land 3 and 4 shots in the big weights.
There's a big left hook to the body by Jones and a right hand upstairs.
There you are. Now he's landing combinations.
The third round marked the beginning of a total rout. If in the first 2 rounds Hall had still managed to stay on his feet and try to fight back, from the third 3-minute session onward, Roy switched into surgeon mode. He stopped merely throwing jabs. He started cutting off the angles, forcing the Jamaican to chase him around the ring. Hall threw punches blindly, while Jones moved left, right, ducked, and instantly drove a straight right to the head or a left hook to the body.
Roy putting on a show for the Indianapolis fans. Hall has not landed a punch in this round. Jones is the only fighter in CompuBox history to score a complete shutout through a round. Benny Pacienza was whitewashed in one round of Jones-Pacienza 5 years ago. And there's a big right hand that momentarily wobbles Hall. He counters with a body shot. Or Hall does, I should say.
You can go to 10 fights and not see as many big, clean, hard punches as Roy Jones has landed through the first half of this fight.
And he's shown guts.
In terms, this crowd would certainly appreciate by now.
This is what happened when you see a guy following a guy shooting him with 22s.
Yeah, Grant was pretty ripped up.
Hall can only win.
Ooh! Never seen so many vicious right hand to the body in this division. Every time you sit down, you see it.
All playing a little possum for Jones, and the crowd was boxed in.
By the final third of the fight, Roy Jones had completely turned into an executioner. Hall, exhausted by his futile attempts to reach the champion, could barely move his feet. In the 8th and 9th rounds, Jones no longer even bothered to carefully choose his distance. He simply came in from the side, threw combinations, and moved away while the Jamaican flailed his gloves helplessly. Hall was taking more and more punishment, his face covered in blood from a cut above his eye, but he refused to go down. This was no longer a fight, it was survival.
This is absurd. Stop the fight. Stop it, Wayne. Come on. This isn't competition anymore. This is a bloodletting. This is absolutely preposterous. Richard Hall should not be taking these shots. Thank God.
It took Roy Jones to stop the fight.
After the fight was stopped in the 11th round, Roy Jones Jr. raised his hands as usual, but there was no particular joy on his face, and why would there be? He had done what was expected of him, defended 3 belts, dominated from the first punch to the last, and didn't give his opponent a single chance.
Yeah, but I'm a bad man, Larry. If I keep on putting that heat on you, you're going to go sooner or later. So, Hall is a strong guy. You can't take nothing from him. A lot of people don't think that he deserved to beat up, but he lasted a lot longer than a lot of other opponents did, and that was nothing to be taken lightly about Hall. Hall was a good guy. Hall came to do his work, but it's just something about when I get in here, man, God takes over me. I just click. I just turn into something terrible, something tremendous. Half the time I ain't sure what be going on. I just be fighting. I'd be like, dang, what am I doing? I'm a fighting machine. I don't even have to think. That stuff just comes from nowhere. I'd be like, oh my goodness, did you see that? Did you see this? Did you see that? I do a lot of things. I have a lot of tricks, a lot of antics that I do. When you pound the best fight in the world, you got to get a crowd to show, and that's what I came here to do, Larry.
After defeating Hall, Jones remained the king of the light heavyweight division, but decided, to everyone's surprise, to move up to heavyweight. In 2003, he defeated John Ruiz, becoming the WBA heavyweight champion, one of the lightest champions in history. However, the success came at the cost of a drastic weight cut back down. In November 2003, he barely got past Antonio Tarver, and in May 2004, he was knocked out by the same Tarver. For the first time in years, Roy was on the canvas. 5 months later, a second consecutive knockout loss followed, this time to Glenn Johnson. The era of dominance was over. Jones tried to come back, beating Jeff Lacey in 2009, but lost to Bernard Hopkins in 2010. Then came fights in Russia, a loss to Denis Lebedev in 2011, and in Europe,